Halo, ne Honari Ribeiro, e nessa parte segundo si episode International Student Home Amni Guest na Intolo Aldo Melissa no Edi, e nebe sira se faz sem perspectiva com o sistema de educação e nação sira estuda ba, efeito se halo comparação ba jurusan ita estuda ho emaselo, culture shock nebe sira soro no insa sira deal ho stress no burnout. Hono ne, buka fatin confortável ida ho tour, no mai rona hamutuk amida dalia.
How do you practice ang sabi lingua? Por exemplo, sa haurona ita ni kolega Kiku, niya konta me hao ka niya practice ne husi bambay niya ba ni ba chaos o ni ba holos sa sang ne niya aprende te something and then sa sercera man niya thola ne niya aprende te ni ba ni komunika langsung ho store owner ne no sin halu boten ni nara ni fila fal mai uma niya look up pali niya practice la nuno pues niya ba. So how was yours on your experience since you said that language was the biggest barrier ba all?
When you're also studio lingua, how I think si Kiko ne cara serap ne maka ami hotu ne cara. When I'm studio lingua.
Okay.
Jadi when I'm studio lingua nasna ya ami koko ako atu halo ligasan hodia kobe ambro sifu ne amane be ke asa semacam security mabe security ne be ke tomo konto bang dormitory. Jadi setiap kali saya baliur how I try to use Chinese and daru mo han kolega serne ya kelas larang aku kulit Chinese date saya beliur everything ami change everything on Chinese Rona musika Chinese nonton film Chinese bagor batang film major ini mah kawan strategi ini konselful because I have to learn the science studane ini ya begaris besar definition this one I don't care ne atu Chinese file everything I have to make sure I understand the definition of this.
Right.
Por exemplo, eta kuliah kono ba carcinoma, cancer, o itu sebab lupus, o termos sendiri ke medicina halone. I don't care. I have to make sure I understand. Depois maka how tamam banyak be subdivision sendiri. Depois lingua ne depois matu ya. Jadi lingua ne depois matu. Jadi lingua no sudah hawansa atau adjust tadi. Uluk ni kan how larung gosta the hard working because I'm a lazy person. When I go to China, I have to hard work. Like I have to really put my limits on it. How to say dedikasang,
yeah.
Yan ba individualismo ni makas best like sirakar kolega tambah sirakar kita buat promosi. Saudi antara sirakar atau improve sirakar English so kuliah sira mai ligação. Mabe ya kolega baru nabe ke sira dia. How halo ligação barak no makai Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, sensitive, but they themselves think that they are a bit different from Chinese people and how most foreigners. So they're in between. I'm an outsider and the Chinese in the middle. So they're really good with both of us and how ligação they foresee us.
The fact that bahau rasi kawela kuliah kata hala precisa extra work atu kona ba língua tama ba American like how atenta na base maybe aprende será writing but kuliah ne asa afina de será ma precisa aprende le form balon de Japan or China like you have to learn the language in order to study. That was just I cannot fathom myself like actually how things are doing naman hala but good job.
Yeah, hakerek. How to kon hakerek? Yeah, hakerek. The way how study on stuff hakerek.
Yeah.
Let's say ihan ba nene asa amin ba karakternya bol Hans. Ke Hans dan ba nene. Think hafal. There's no way all hafal. Jadi otis hafal. Jadi the way how hafal otis hare. Kamu sahaware bebek. For example, Hans po, naran eno ba mahar bilhare po, en ba primeiro ne po. Da letra C lukne naran pa. Atau identifica niane satu etatu pronuncie nia depois satu takereknya mus ulu ke China ne every single time when here how there my how there my how sempre takerek on diary and I'm make sure 300 characters takerek daroma kalang luang harus tuh hotu na takerek olor aku tesan per how lebih halu.
Yeah, so that's tips guys. Masih nabe akar aprende like lingua ne salah satu tips sih mana. Hakerek repetição. Thank you Aldo. Thank you as well Melissa.
Sabe relate per mate ni o insan sanya the struggle aprende. Yanes Japanese rebulu kanji. Sira
Anji,
fokus
yeah.
Chinese character. Mabe sira iya reading rua, sira iya reading Japanese reading, otang sira iya Chinese reading mos. Dan benar-benar ni struggle na sa mga kuliah no agree permati to na kara praktek na thank you na sa benar-benar by writing duni. So yung kang kuliah barakli ko na banser niya sa sines sa sini individualismo sa 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 kultura sila sa mabe sa ya parte da ko na balinggo na mas sa mang sa mga aldo yung kuliah ne. E Japão, né, dalu buat nebe mas halo senta sa no permate. Even though so my ne na scholarship ni dia tem que se aprende o inglês, don't worry. So even though like you have zero knowledge on like on Japanese, or even though latin kuliah Japanese mas dia kalau mai det mas sekolah det. Even line, and that's like think you benar that's like a big lie. Like mas think you benar. Dal barang ni ser kuliah Japanese, ser kuliah naro permate kuliah ser around 15 minutes terus ne. Pois se halo translation ba inglês ne. Lato 1 minute na gitu. Halas na ausente ano, pois dano mas halo tau ko to gitu. Maximo intra kuliah na narko ni seda gitu, basta ni seda gitu.
I feel like for me personally, even as up to this day, I cannot comfortably say that how ne be as adapted in how be universidade even though like how ne teenager tena. Mas one weather when I came it was like peak be winter be.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of leads on to seasonal depression. Like I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
Last year, that thing is real. Like my Fatima Madiri has like lahatang lorong matang, and then last like seasonal depression is so real. It just pushes you down like so much to the point that you just can't do anything about yourself or like even schoolwork. That's like one huge thing I realized is that keeping yourself healthy and like mentally and physically was very very important lesson that I learned my first semester just to get through everything. And I was blessed with so many support systems in there. But then that kind of teaches me another lesson, which is or made me realize one biggest difference since academically speaking. I would like to I usually put it this way, like you are granted with so many freedom, like with such a huge amount of freedom. And then if you end not, doing it right, you're totally fucked. Like, fuck. Classes start at 11, but doesn't mean that your day starts at 11.
Right.
But that's how it's been for me. Like, it's a process of constant learning, I guess, You just learn and learn. And as time goes, you just become a better version of yourself. So that's one thing that I learned. And then socially, it's another thing, though. People in the Midwest, they're nice. Like, everyone's nice.
Yeah.
But, this is facts, okay? Racial concentration, Midwest, it's very predominantly white. And so people of color, it doesn't mean that we're not accepted, but it's just sometimes it's hard for us to find like common ground. What is it that the thing that we all like and share? We don't listen to country music. We don't listen.
No, we don't.
We don't go out every weekend and go fishing. No, right?
No.
So it's not about people here not being accepting, but us trying to adapt ourselves. Like in the Midwest, like this is how people live their lives, and it's either you seclude yourself from that kind of culture, or you try to push yourself, and it's not like you're losing yourself, but making yourself feel included, because people are accepting it, as far as I'm concerned, like here. So socially, it's a bit tricky because here Timor, like the person but like in here, it takes more time for you to kind of form that friendship.
Effort.
Wow.
Conferencia either, like, let's say workshop no WhatsApp, whatever, friends.
Yeah.
You go to class, sit down next to someone and say, make small chit chats, and then what's your snap? You get their snap. But if you don't make any effort after that, it's just you have to, for example, like I say, okay, you want to be like romantically engaged, but like even for you to be like in a way that's a friendship, it's also it takes effort for that. So that's kind of one thing that I found like was different, and like
basically like US when it comes to friendships, all thing you said on your personality, I don't give a fuck nih as. Thank you as ya. Kalau bilang saya Timor like senti ang like usia sini median sini. No bitch. Kulit karau sa. Kulit tidak biasa ya dia muai lahan nih. Oh tinggi muai lahan.
Ah, oba se uluk o kuliah uluk sarsera buat sana sadi ita tu bahasa muai no mate.
No mate hazura nih. Like just don't give a fuck.
People are friendly, but if you just don't go in and make that effort.
That's true. That's with my own experience, like how am I be introvert? And how kolega ho am I laran it? Kal gare suran liman net kare. And that tama sira mahalo effort my how. How rasi katumoya tu be ne sira. Maybe hane kolega international para formate tama emma hane samo tu how. Maksudnya ita diliu Asian like ita ne hane sa.
That's why how we realize how sa Timor is unique permate tama. There's no one else like us. Who the fuck Asian speaks like spoken by a million people that has like a little bit of Portuguese influence in it. Who the fuck speaks that? So that kind of poses a problem because you just can't go on and go to your Latino friends and they'll be like, you can hang with them, but it's not that you can be fully immersed in their culture because they speak Spanish and you can't even understand Spanish very well. So it's hard to find your kind of own group, like your group as in Emerson to be able to share identity because like Southeast Asians hangs around Southeast Asians, like South Asians, East Asians. Like Asians, I say the Asians like secluded.
Grupo, exactly.
Southeast Asian, even sort of South Asian, like most India sir halai sarniya, Pakistan sir halai sarniya. So it's just so different. And then agora o Timor bagabon sir.
Yeah, like that's the truth.
I try to make myself like
more flexible,
as open as possible.
Yeah. How said this about ita as like being Timor quando vai escola e eu tava ita sidau barak e mabar sila conhece ita ne raing mo but serne ita flexible makas no ita aprende cultura e didak ita tahu atau aprende cultura e didak niya be ne hori no ita bele like katama ita niya grupo e didak ne hori la bele center left out and that was really interesting. Especially I know that Melissa Aldo was funny experiencia nessa.
Yeah, it's like a huge flex too, because like you hang out with so many people. It's just am I racial background or ethnicity or at least one person, like like one Indian, one Pakistani, one Bangladeshi, like one Chinese or one like race or ethnicity. So ita conhece outros at least am I nice about.
That's something like I can relate. It's part of like a culture shock. Experiência science international students, which is like try to make friends or socialize with people, get into their culture and stuff like that. But aside of that, like imi a culture shock, and then it's like, dang, I don't know what to do. Like you can take your time, think about it. While you guys think about it, we have a definition of culture shock. But kalau saya berlatih in culture shock na sentimento ida nebema halo ema confusão kala pasti larantarido ou anxious in ideia em inglês by environment phone nebema ser hela pa. Ema bela experiência culture shock quando hira se pinda ba hela ia fatin phone hanesa escola hira lior ka serviço.
Where most Bahamas a culture shock now Minnesota is one of the most like coldest like Nenaiha United States. So especially you're someone who comes from like an island, like ita Timor ne toma botira mana so dry, but raining so bebe gelo ne ketano in kata kita tu toma. Edi kuleda you hate the snow. Yes, I hate snow too. I actually have a love and hate relationship with it. Sometimes how gosto tama ni halo be fating kapas, but most of the time ni halo mono to hane lima nga tohar. So that's why I hate snow for that very reason. But weather was one, and another thing is that what did a give and take ne? Asa por exemplo, se locker mata mo almost nem ser locker falor mata basira. Asa o que tano de ser locker mata mo pe almost then thank you la tama bare to no la koi be kono locker falor mata na kido no la locker fal be maselo. Kita jarang tomang halo hine itala ididak locker ni rasi ke. But the good thing about it is that how aprende antes de querer si a minha agora alumni na manaranya dia tete idane level hal idane asa língua mosnya briefing ami kona ban língua asa itania hine tete say ai o bokurlos neka ita refere ba buat tebe dia kasi tete o hambarak o healthy o bokur ne that means good babe ia nabata ma buat nebe hatung ema bully ema bebek no ita hine buat tira bully ne asa ita ignora tia então conotação itania yang bokur ne connotation ne dia babe ia nabaka so translate bokur fat na mereka connotation ne bela dia how cuidado los like anxious los atu ba how sa culture shock ta maneira sa bote be ponga.
Speaking of the weather, Eddie will explica kalian lihat kalau Missouri weather, nothing compare Minnesota. I swear to God, Missouri weather, I don't know how to explain this. I swear.
In November, we had summer weather, we had spring weather, we had fall weather, and we had snow at the same time. Back in November, everything in 1 month, everything one any given time. Even in a day, it in a forecast, it predicts you the weather. Yeah, range now, so like it's so huge. Like
yeah, so in that loss and vamos clear then babe. Culture shock then become a culture to me. So it's not shock anymore. So how you have to rethink kalau serang kalau ita be. How ya kejadian NB ke lalu dia. Jadi hal shock na maka lifestyle, daily time management ya China, Shanghai. Oh, Timor jam karat teman-teman. No jam karat, not single minutes. Damn. Pues kono bah hangot. Kono bane weather bahau si ladung mungkin pasumen terban hau senteladung mos senteladung hau pelhandrela. Pas time pasumen terban tamparan botos mehau. Tambah sada. Hau pernah ami ba konferensia. Tama fatine dok antam hadir sedo am seba arangka sedo. Pasumen terban hau hadir tardi tuang. Han profesor dia mana les selai ami musik odonis. Terus usulin hau. Pasumen hau on my way tena. Pasumen please wait, I'm on my way. How alay tang sira bislaran tena han profesor dia ngeliat mana les na dia be ami kal betari 5 minutes asne kalau jadi ya be ya ada jalan raya di dalam university ne pas halau apa bisne lau tena lau atau exit tena jadi haune hetang bisne persat selau I desine ba kera haul halimar krong sera tempo like damn serious time pois kono ba hang hoto eno ba ita belet tolera hela my besernya bumbune too much. Sena bumbune too soy sauce, everything is so sauce. Every meal has a I don't know. Sira sempre so sauce and I hate the sauce. I cannot eat the sauce. Hamos desaras kalosa. Apalagi sirnya hang dabe tradisional. Sira bolu mei gancai oil. When I say oil, they really love oil. Nasi goreng they have nasi goreng, but their nasi goreng is nasi oily goreng. It's so much oil. Damn, I cannot understand. They really love oil, man. Serne modo ne? How in was serne modo rumah oil ya larang. Sempre modo. Pois sera gosta fakar oil. Damn, maybe serne no bane ising ne? Okay, sera balong isi buat tapi serne bane ising la bot ne mau heran ne. Para serne oil ne barak los. Serne bane sok bahau sa. Agora na to mantena. Mas fofon bane damn, hang da serne sauce tena tamatang oil itang. Hotang chopstick ne tang, aduh susah, super hard for me. Really a lot of stress and
That's actually really funny.
So like Jepang ne ane sa mangalo kuliah tu kona ba punctuality. Mabian sa los dian sebutnya sa how nunca pernah rona dia ema Jepang ne punctual. Antes sama Jepang mas ba ema barak dia how punctual they are. Hamos experiência rasa kare ami ka ini ami sekolah uluk ne iam muda ema Japonês. No how haredo no insa how strict he is, pois o insa sa niya kona ba deadline and stuff like that. No, dan asa lausan totally anesa buat nebe masa nunca ten o Jepang buat rene gitu. Other thing nebe mak how senti sira how polite they are. Japanese like super polite. They say a lot of like thank you and sorry. They say more sorry other than thank you. Sira sa every time when hiro ko nang sa cause feeling of hesitation by maselo, you have to say sorry before saying thank you gitu. Jadi sa sira mai kono mai Jepang thank you lifonda sumimasen no thank you gitu. Jadi sa sira kuliah sorry ne ba like almost everything gitu. Sira ne like super organized. Sira organized to bot hotu ne sarna eman ne dala balik kona sa mai Jepang dala balik medenya Japanese sa robot ne tama sira moris to manual. Everything ne manual. Asa por exemplo, matama restaurante, gatama cafe, rumah, dan rumah tatang pating, dan ita sempre ona ima kuliah nessa, ia dalan serne mas siran saya sign ne boto even details so to akhir buat sini, jadi benar-benar so thank you follow duni, okona sa oma salah follow, asa emane benar-benar asa stare at you gitu, kona so okona halo something that weird, something that different, dan the timor kan teh sign was like nobody asa really care about it, galay asa sign na sa tingin okay how leaves namis dia kalau precisa da buat sini.
Tiro yang annoying tambah sama sira kata te desculpa barra que do que obrigado.
Mungkin tambah sernya Morris da bringing kan sini kultura ida gitu. Jadi saya sempre tahu mas seluknya before them gitu. Jadi kalau orang kaos buat rumah lagi yang mau tinggal sedih di school.
Karena sih experience personal experience ulu salah how to be Genesis ya exchange na ba? Holy damn. Pas momento na ba na hanya kolega. Ami como ban ba exciting demais. Asa foto avião lá foto. Telepon lá com dia. Ami be laporte be counter no ba né. Ui, santo sedang close na. Aku ne be avião lá. Close na. Sa kontak sa staff no ba na sa staff eton mai ne. Mai laos sante halai pai. Halai mai ne. Ui, halai mai ami ui. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? I'm not sorry. Like,
I'm sorry.
Halai ne sudah. I'm sorry. No, please. Thank you very much. We are one thing. Sorry. I mean, sorry. Pamalu to naman heran. Ay, terlalu.
Oh my god.
It takes a while to kind of think about it because it's already our culture, right?
Yeah.
How foi Hanoi, nota. O sa ema sira nene value tebes asa sira mag-iya in terms of sira osang and how they earn it. It's a very sensitive like material and it's a very sensitive topic that you can go ahead and say, hey, I'm broke right now, but you cannot just go on, I have $1 million sitting in my bank account. That's like, I don't know, it's like it's very different from what I'm seeing. Ema tahu importancia ba osang and how sensitive it is, ne? That kind of just like carries away to us. To hasa hafa nota fa nasa amni trip fa na down like ito ne, por exemplo, hasa sai ho han kolega ida ami ba McDonald's bele order hamutu nota sai mai boto to itemize onion sera for feel fa na samai. So yeah. Onion sera, onion McFlurry ida, okay, fries ida, burger ida, vemo agora. Lahen, that whenever you delay, the longer you delay, it's like the longer you delay, the more awkward it becomes, you know, and it's just kind of. It's almost until I diag except on the hand and I but the system and the best isn't always every time like.
Yeah.
So some emane like expected sound and then emane not covered. Emane did cover niya. I'm laughing sa sneha tuga. Alu sudah lihat deh, alu baru sudah lihat deh. Hal ami waktu itu here ruangan larang sentilah enak nih. Tamser be alu nih osang nih. Terus itu so ami bah hotel asa bah Chicago nih. Hal tamat trip nih tardi. Nih biasa osang hanya mus tahunnya tardi. Tapi saat kami hotel kuartu harus dengan de presensa alu yang namanya hal lah enak deh.
Yeah, exactly.
Eso itu timor será amuku mana malu besto amuku di tope las tenemos pues nasa saya se tener cosas ita telah mutu nasa it's like second nature to us and then maybe reverse culture shock tambah ita timor ke system best contribute hotel tener like semana bere ya ita tah mutu but like it's just how things are and like
how concordo edil sore manhã do colheniança dal barra se tem timor do nosso colega ni tinang do nosso colega volou sai bahantes né os lugares berarti din colega não tu traktiro
exactly
itu selo ni bill gitu pois hansa maybe Japan agak different itu jadi hansa wanhira con colega ni tinang so bol colega na restaurante so oma sa treat on colega de tinang gitu biasa sama case balu na barra hansa wanhira con sai bahan con sone sir bol sampai kakak kelas ro bolo bahan net dalam barak biasa di kakak kelas mas selo lah los kakak kelas mas selo dari masa sira masih tahu amount barak dia gitu
itu timornya mau atlio emnet one tinang pos ada baru kau terakhir tan sira
Nggak usul kita nih only tidak umat traktir.
Ya,
halal deh. Sudah pernah pas nanti Antonio masa kalau tuh mainan ada oke habil dia oke hakar. It's like second issue to us. Then okay, bah itu tuh langsung okay. Can we have 7 separate checks? And then it didn't mind on the check. And then like I just ordered like something small for everyone to share on the table together. But it's with that expectation that you go together.
That is very cool. How funny like kita
Yeah, when Edith mentioned Osang, how much haluat there. Culture shock Osang in China is really. Elas culture shock is very sensitive in China. Money in China, oh my God. Ami pas momento ya China ne atento agora how se compreende. Exemplo, da rumah kan when we are broke, kita precisa usar nano sistema Osang. Sometimes not using Western Union MoneyGram, but damn, they are really. Kita timur naruh close nih. Agora ya buat ada sistema Western Union buat naruh badak deh. Oh singkat. Salah Simone. Sedang naruh sekompleto. Oh my God. One thing that I learned karakter nabe kayak ya Cina onsta par how tinggi tegas itu. Because they are playing with you. Tambah MoneyGram and Western Union. But I have to wait, like I have to solve there. I have to call their center and buy. Oh, ini dia kelaga. Oh, sangsne, abeserne be. Oh, narane be. La completo is just half. Saya usah singkatan sana. Emang sen ya minna sama dia. Kalau sama ini komplikat. Ini falta fora kan sama. How ne passport naran everything is in order. So hanara menaruh dulu emang singkat itu nah ini be. Oh sama apa? No, we cannot do that. Tuh bulat nih, I have to wait how to think. Oh, how naban, how kolega nabama. Kami terserujak watak timur keras itu. Hanya serba parcela mas kumasa bukan ser call mamai mak pembelajaran. It's not one time, every single time atau poti osang nih seperti sana.
Dari rumah saya struggle itu ang saya manage satu manage hanya osang dia dari rumah kan ini tinggi dari rumah tinggi selalu butuh ngomong muskala. Jadi dari dah usah aku pai namanya harus si dili mai. Emang si MoneyGram si dili akhirnya hanaran salah. Hanaran yang Melissa Esma double, mas bisa kira L double gitu. Foti haba MoneyGram foti não sei melatang foti dah, tapi dia nara lah salah nilos hauda gitu. How stress mata gitu. Dalam bahasa Spanyol, otu letra ida det otu documento ser no tu los otu sama kona karakter ida det no kona salah ser den nilos oda. Ya dah it's not you gitu. Pois ia Jepang nessa sirana nessa documento dalam bara guarda documento é bem importante relacionado com a identity. Dalam bara nessa harus qualquer coisa mas harus ser documento nem ida det. Asli ida det ou level fotokopi level print ulang-ulang ida det asne ou tem que aquele hal di dia ou tem que aquele hal lolos gitu. So hira o hira aquele ida det masalah ou tem que coret gala ou tem ida salah level usa tipex ou tem que coret ou tem que dar signature. Patur kata kau buat nih, omah kerek dunia salah nih, omah commit salah dan gitu. Yes, nih complicated nih.
Complicado.
How paling anti urus dokumentu sih nih.
Oh, ini teve stress, depression, buat serta mosu barbarak tamaho be struggle serta be ini asoro nih. So, insa like ini manager nih. Tama, I mean, you guys been iraba keleur tana. So, how do you survive?
Yeah, how can I to deal with depression, stress, anxiety, and stuff like that, ne? Primero how think ya maksudnya think admitted gitu, kata dia struggle gitu, think ya allow yourself kata be vulnerable or like kona how dan masa kona reach on a point dan semester dan hectic dan masa assignment barak parmate pois si exame barak dan mat pois how to tanes get depressed but bar going asala bela handle boto tuh how sentas how precisa descansa dan I will like let my professor know like the professor how go down was nes how senti how precisa descansa le desculpa how senti how think descansa le oh non halabel tamaula les nes how precisa descansa jadi essa datang me how ma think la bela terlalu close gitu think anesan dal barak so bana meniraya sa muris mesa dal baro senti kata biasa I need to be independent gitu I think sa handle hani problema ga buto to so nerasi me how lai si kono tauret mindset da cara buto to think handle rasa cara buto to think always being independent o kan sa stress barak di tanto sa cura to kolega ne me how sa really helps gitu try not to be judgmental terus la open vibe MSN culture tamo lebel expect ema todo to anisang gitu emo tingkat o ne maya lingkungan fong emo to ne maya ho background ne memang lah nisang Jadi quando sente bot rumah nebe mos halo sente uncomfortable. O tem que koko to teke usia myself ne point of view. La belo sionande. O how ema catholic, how mais si Asia, how Southeast Asia, how mais as nes ne. Jadi tem que being open minded. Koko to teke usia myself ne point of view si me how dan importante per mate.
Bahau stres ne terlalu broad tuh. Kita harus identifikasi stres dan stres da exame ga, stres tambah sosial ga, tambah kita mood down ga. How kon stress sama materi I take a rest. How parah. Tapi kon exame mak stress. Oh I cannot take a break. How think badu nih. Kemudian Sokomoro. I have to go. There's no escape because the exam is real and the fight is real. I cannot melarikan diri usi exam. Tapi kon
Right.
so let's say how stress tambah TPC barak. How sometimes I don't go to class. I don't want to give too much pressure. Tambah dalam kan itane sempre karak halu buat terbaik perfectionist. Jadi kon how stress and how I don't go. So yang melesa kuliah sa aproxima professor ne importante itu sih. So yang hera quando ya materi baru lebih how stress tambah hal dong komplain udah rumah materi maraskan ni bahau o dalam rumah I think materi terlalu barak liu nah latene examen seseran tahu hak professor deh how aras kau beli guide how dalam rumah kon stress nih kon materi ya solution makna how basic how nebe professor
Aldo, agora o escola é Timor, right? O escola online continua na fating. It's a totally different thing. O hela é Timor pas online. It's like it's in a totally different pressure.
Yes, really good question. Hane how pressão menos loh. Tambah aminia kelasnya recorded. Sometimes live, sometimes recorded. Sampai hospital. Jadi when you have stress, entah lah nontonnya datang tambah profesornya for tempo like a week of free sa data mau nonton det recorded ne. How stress hamut lah ya, aku nonton. Hamut ya. Jadi I don't feel the stress. Exam mak stress, mabela tambah how I have so much time to prepare. But ya stress tidak how ihane mak karak feel basina sih. Internet, daru mah kon internet lah dia I don't give a shit dan profesor how la bele. How kokoten how Telkomsel, Telemor, kita lah dia kena fating I'm done. I'm sorry. How them profesor I cannot. How guras ne. The way I handle my stress is I let it go. How la bele I cannot push my limit. I just let it go.
Yeah.
How concordo la so oyen sa mga la mente tem que sa tete professor, pesa sa mente tento ansa me how ngira sa huso professor ni dan é importante para mate. Jadi ansa how dalla barak ne who's on professor pasti ajuda. Sira nesta nesse serviço. Quando essa depois de class, quando essa matéria não vem hala compreender, então who's on professor me extra time tá atau habis estuda em office. Toda rumah allow how to estuda tu escola taka. Estuda tem kelas larang yang doring how uso pergunta even que com perma se pele perma hala compreender experiment larang. Dan how uso ni explica ulang falu si matéria ni explica botot.
So impressed with like some Melissa like stories and I'm a dumb freshman, y'all. Like
no, that's how it starts, right? It's like
that's how it starts. But I started a dumb freshman and still a dumb sophomore right now. I'm just listening and I'm like Nella. So I learned so much. But first is I take what science has to say about stress. What is the scientific way like on how to address stress. Like I don't want to say that I'm a very scientific person, man. I want to apply or I want to use methodologies that has been like, proven to be like helpful. I took this one class. It was about nutrition, exercise, and physiology. So it was just everything combined into one class. Who's class in it, like what I learned is that I have to recognize that I'm at a point where I just can no longer continue. So if I reach a certain point where I just can't push myself to, I mean, it's good to have stressors. It's good to have stress within your life because life is all about ups and downs. Like you cannot just have like everything is going uphill and then not expect to go downhill. So but like you should recognize that there are certain points that it needs to be stopped, it needs to be addressed. If it's something that is beyond my control, then I'm gonna let it go because I'm not gonna spend time stressing about things that I just have no ability or no control within. So what's it, Hanessa? Let's say what is something that I have no control? I want to give an example.
Someone else's behavior. What do you think?
Exactly. Like someone else's behavior. Like I cannot make, someone was being rude to me on the street while I was walking down to class. I cannot make that as something that's just going to stress me out for the rest of the day. I cannot make that as something that's going to ruin my mood for the entire day. Like, I'm not going to let someone else's like negativity come and put it on me and just something that's beyond my control. And how I said, like, I just don't want to deal with it. You deal with it. whoever's control it is, then yeah, deal with it. When it comes to studying, I feel like I don't really worry about it too much because I just know how much I can absorb, like how academically speaking, as a stress on my hands and I do my class. But maybe it also has to do with my major because it's not really demanding. I'm not a STEM major. Like shout out to you guys. But has to do with science and STEM and tech. Yeah. I mean, there are certain aspects of social science that's also hard that you have to put a lot of thought and thinking into it. At the same time, we also didn't think about. We just don't know because it's second nature. There's specific majors have their specific struggles. So I just don't want to compare myself, and I just want to look. I cannot go on and say okay, what all students say. Oh, I study about arts. So no, it's not that. Like there's a lot of components of arts that's just I can't comment on because I just don't. So it's not fair for me to say that okay, arts is a dumb major or like music is a dumb major. You just play music or you just draw. There's so much more things that we don't know that people go through,
So I feel like it really depends on Sarama or passionate about. Like Obel is study doctor medicine or pre-law. Like in general, I mean, oh my god, that major nebe paling aras kali. But like Obel toko musika, like Obel halo photography, Obel halo videography. No, you can't. Because that's not, what I'm saying? Like speaking of that, how sa fanoin falei timoran sa ite pe hanoin dan yang okay, eme study medicine general hotan law na eme paling mateni kliu. So sila bil halo boto tu tama sila hatang spend a lot of time studying and then like also diam so art sila ne bekan sa like always took Emma doutor sila pela pinta makasan sa arte sila ne sila
yeah how concorre permate se compara major ne buat de mak ladia permate no para one ang hof sera mak ema selo how no mas ladia ko tu how mas yane ka hall colega laus de tuan colega usani major de derma how ya colega usi political science, colega maybe me studa business gitu. Darba kona sa how students na basta darma sa orang colega na sa niya hang out na niya sa spend na ni weekend gitu. Ay kon niya sane gitu, kon how la sane. Benar ema idida ne sa kan struggle na la ne sampai sane sa kuliah yang like I'm science. I do this, like I do chemistry. I don't think like it really good. At the same kono how la sane wakang ruing ema selo kotu. Almost la tene sera mas how did lehan colega political science ni paper what is this gitu.
Every major is hard. There's
I think at the same time eu tenho que embrace outro side mo ko bela halo. Oh ya bela bala que também ela telemos.
Vamos pessoalmente até por comentário de uma bara sempre stigma yang kata gue okay one estudar chemistry estudar let's say one lawyer everything you must be so smart man no I mean we are normal we ita
work hard for it.
Yeah, it's not about how smart you are but on karakter to in bel hal auto reach what you want. I think everyone can be whatever they want to be.
I feel like back to the point where Melissa said like we have to be open-minded by masih point of view.
Jadi ya saya Jepang nih, saya education system nih, dan haladun familiar ho US ho China ho insa. Maybe ya Jepang nih sa you're allowed to take other subject kusi faculty selo. To how ya faculty of science and technology, habuti mas materi husi seriously faculty of liberal art, theology as well. Ya han aula political science the struggle nih completely different gitu.
Exactly.
How si paper nih memang how completely ada sa lah comprehended terms bara how thank you Google, thank you super professor gitu.
I'm taking a bio lab class. How already kali livro bio ne. How loke bani hai ser mitochondria mana ne. Asa bera amnya lab pertama microscope dek mus hanun kakar and I never.
It's hard. No, for real. Like right now I'm taking like microeconomy. Fuck economy, which I don't know about economy. Hana kakutang la halo economy. O explica sara mas halo compreender. Por favor, para me explica mais how.
Surah Osambahang na be.
Surah Osambahang no. Osam tawan na ating nomor 1. Anywho, we're almost come to the end of this podcast. Thank you so much for all the experience and the knowledge you guys share. The last questions to end this podcast. I'm husto colega sira advice ba timor oan sira hakara ka tu escola heralio.
Colega sira bem agora se por exemplo here in nível secundário ela like just having that kind of mentality and the vision that you wanted to see yourself study abroad it's so powerful. Like it drives you so further. Like Husi said, I'm like, oh man. But that doesn't mean that's it. Like you can only dream and that's it. You don't do anything about it. Actions, then like it's the trickier part of it too, because it involves a lot of parts, you know. How I don't see it as tasks. How my oh shit, when I did all these things, you know, it actually contributes to why am I here in the first place studying in the States. So being involved in a lot of different things outside of school, you can be smart academically, but if you just don't have that, you know, kind of things that you can sell outside of schoolwork or like your grades, then I don't want to say that you're not worth a lot, but there's definitely more people that has that kind of skill set that they're willing to sell and they're willing to market by all of these scholarship panelists, because, you know, they're putting in hours inside of their school, not only inside of their school, but they're also putting in hours, outside of their schoolwork to do all the things that they want to do and they have to do to be able to sell. And then also like volunteering is one. Do what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about music, then go to music lessons, you know, master a skill that you wanted to master, a hobby that you've always wanted to be proficient in. Say you wanted to play guitar, go take guitar lessons. It's something that might be useful when you come, you know. That's second. And third is just consistency, and like trying multiple times is just so, it's powerful, because I know so many people that tried once, like they applied to scholarship once, and then the first time that they fail, it's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Just keep trying. Hey man, I tried for 4 years. Some people try. Mana Emilia, agora na história niya kokototina hito. Like, yeah, she spent 7 years of her life trying to apply, and she eventually got it. So
yeah.
But just recognize that we all have our own timeline when you're gonna actually go study abroad. So it doesn't mean that the friends that you graduate with, say together, say that they happen to go study abroad and you're still in Timor, doesn't mean that you're a failure. No, it means that your time just hasn't come yet. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Mungkin kan sa failure na nisang laos din kata wala bela hala pantas escola reliur gitu, hala pantas by escola dan a failure na house oportunidade dia permata sa tu se ko conhece ona gitu, se ko conhece oni kelemahan, ia buat certain things na bem precisa improve gitu. Pois mas a basira na bem atu ba escola reliur ga, mas how you have to understand that like ema ser na bem agora ia na sound bem ko tu bane sirane sine background lah nisang o sine basic na lah nisang gitu. It doesn't mean that like all ateno batida. Ya certain things na bema o bele sila bele. Exemplo nisa lingua ita kuliah lingua barat, kuliah yang hat. Lagi o bata na sound na bema nasa kuliah aprende lingua diferente sa Japan, China, Korea. O se kuliah 5 languages. Na bema kema ema sir na bani sine local people na kan admire per mateo. Depois o nirta escola de lior. Hala dunga ten kata maung kolega sira sila kene senti gala daru masa sempre nisa. Maybe they're not senti common per mate. Si diba yung parte tamo iti adulting how to say is existential crisis. Like what the hell am I doing right now? God, yes. That must question your major. You question what you're studying gitu. That must wondering what the hell am I doing gitu. Habat timor hausa galay gitu. Habat timor ne. Yung preciso how galay gitu. What no mo wondering as ne galay. Mas sira. Mas ako kung tur ko converse man kolegas international sa mas sira sa okay like how re mata no si. So for university I'll go to this company. I'll apply for this company and then get in and then service na gitu. Pero mo timor lai. It's not as easy as this. Hotly fono sa bonana ni rasmi colher yang kata obela aprende science side det, maybe science boto toto ne los la sala det, maybe paling dia clip, ongira bot ne bela apply gitu. Jadi eu tenho que hanu essa ser mo estuda ne bela, o insa o bela usa para apply gitu. You have to be creative and then mas que o da bot ne sa dong hansa karike, la bela sa para to aprende gitu. Aprende and explore but try to be like how do you say know a little from a lot gitu. Senhora da batur career seminar hamutuk. Ania agora na serviço Google e Japão, me colher dança né, experiência no restaurante ne fura permate, e na bema que you are allowed to learn by making mistake gitu. Não angiro experiência fully não angiro you are as a student. What set you different from other people is like your vision, your dream for the future, on ambição, what's and set you different. Oni mehi oni ambição ne romano lebih more genuinely compare with sila gitu. Mas ema sa iya ne romano sa kuliah sa circulation ne mehi sa akarang sa get sama company get money and that's it. Mas eu tenho que nunca asa oi oni mehi na bod litan gitu. Contribui timor besar ne. O mais na sound ne maki besar nesnes ne.
Se how rasik how ini kayaknya ami si background lebih aneh sa. Ami uluk aktif los. So how nia hanle famous agak say atau similar ho edinya. Tambah karik ba sudah ba aling senebe ke SMA kelas 3. Okay, study, maybe olah bel fokus los ba study. Tambah how rasik abel hetang andes na kesempatan barit, I don't know, how ba Japan ga berbeda kamu pernah tuir ba ya be US Embassy Jakarta, UNESCO nia, depois UNESCO bebas globalnya, IFP everything. Ini mak how kayaknya hetang gampang atau hetang where I am now.
Right.
Then academic is important, but how lah koi student on hal tidak ya to do something. So why that pusi ni hari kata orang yang aktif, sila biar kata okay, wang hari ta phone nya kesempatan bania, ni se apply buat ni ujiannya se apply. And then if you really want what you want, then you have to really fight for it. Peribahasa dia fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. The most important thing bahwa ni maka onsa alien serne ya karakter. Será onsa karakter onsa parbe karakter nebe que comprende kata boto tuto nela fácil. If you really want it, then you go for it. However, I more develop into a characteristic. I personally think characteristic is the most is what I get. Understand life is like this. Understand that if you want it, you work for it. Understand that people are not the same. People are individualistic. People have different background. People are this. Characteristic dewasa bahana so complex, but I think if you understand how to behave when you fail and you stand up, it's one component of maturity.
That is literally so sweet, you guys. That is so insightful. Like what's like I think it's very, I wish like I have like kono how to buy schola or how apply but what's what tama na tesema ya eman nebe kuliah sa neba how seriously. So as a colleague si Rona tena si Aldo, Eddie ho, Melissa kuliah sini bara kono mas sini experience na ba sila cover like sila social life, academic lives. Unsa sila aprende, you know, lingua nebe phone no sini, you know, coping ho buat sini manage sini tempo ina ba unsa sila apply ba con os processos sila apply ba scholarship no to ba escola na ba ne susah no teru serrehansa buat importante me sila bolus sila kuliah bebe kona kata it's okay to like husu ajuda lai bo problema se imia but rumah desafio rumah dificuldade rumah nebe miha husu ajuda atau colega, professor, ga emana be imifiar husu ajuda. Hatene iminia limite, buat imi center imi labela na iha partida ne, descansa lai, para lai, depois me dudu faz, kata dudu detu sida, you know, sometimes it's not good, but iminia mental health. Sinantolo iha ideia ne be hanesa kata failure is not like what nebe la diak or end of the world, what nebe hatu mundo ne hotona. How Aldo must agree ne, if you do a lot of like volunteer activities, asne bela ajudamos, contribuimos para processo e me apply para bolsuga. Ou para escola de lá precisa bolsa, esse, por exemplo, me dá celular, e me aprende bot para com sua experiência, se você me halo volunteer work, né? A lot of points sabe how hetang husi sementolo, asa inspirativo tebes para colega sira.
Ba colega sira nebe maka gosta minha podcast no hakara katurona barak lutam sarama mikri hamnya podcast ne favor que talo to subscribe no like amnya YouTube channel atau support a Jovem Timor one sernya creatividade no mos kare colega sira interesa kar hatene barak lutam kono ba amnya guest oin lorongnya Aldo, Melissa and Eddie Beltru. You can follow them on Instagrams. What's your guys' Instagrams? Eddie?
@Olivera.Edilberto_.
I think it's @AldoBosco3.
So mine is @melpatmatch.
There we go. So go follow their Instagram because em tolo ne jovem ne maka talento no matenek debes o inspiralos ba colegas de carga with Corona. Go follow our Instagram podcast at Dadalia Podcast. No, our individual account how at Advandaling and Nadia is Nadia Heart You.
Obrigado Barak ba colegas de Verona ona. Espero episódio hoje loronnya bela juro colega sira. No motiva colega sira atu bela continua em minha mehi. No mai te continua asa liang jovem.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Eddie, Aldo, and Melissa. I'm Ronari. Appreciate Mr. Botsernya willingness to participate in the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you much. Really appreciate debes bele invite how my to share how ideas here. Share is caring.
Of course.
Vamos rasik admire debes mang humana iha inisiativa da cria platform dan sani. by Joventino.
Thank you.
Admire that.